स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। यथाग्नेर्दाहिका शक्ति रामकृष्णे स्थिता हिय सर्वविद्यास्वरूपां तां शारदां प्रणमाम्यहम्। नमः श्रीयतिराजाय विवेकानन्दसूरये सच्चित्सुखस्वरूपाय स्वामिने तापहारिणे अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अनेकजन्मसम्प्राप्तः कर्मबन्धविदाहिने अज्ञानप्रदानेन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि सद्गुरुं तं नमामि सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। Let us spend few minutes in silence and meditation. Let us offer our salutations to the all-pervading blissful spirit in any name or form. Let us offer our salutations to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, Ma Sharda Devi and Swami Vivekananda and Adi Shankaracharya, and all great teachers, all great sages, saints, whose teachings we have inherited. May they inspire us with love for the truth. हृदयकमलमध्ये राजितं निर्विकल्पं सदसदखिलभेदातीतं एकस्वरूपं प्रकृतिविकृतिशून्यं नित्यमानन्दमूर्तिं विमलपरमहंसं रामकृष्णं भजामः विमलपरमहंसं रामकृष्णं भजामः विमलपरमहंसं रामकृष्णं भजामः। Let us meditate on the all-pervading, all-blissful form of Sri Ramakrishna, who is the embodiment of eternal joy, Nityam Anandamurti, who is Vimala, without stains, who is Paramahamsa, the great swan, who is beyond the 6 modifications of Prakriti and Vikriti, who is one undivided form, Ekaswarupam. Where do we meditate? Hridaya Kamala Madhye. Think of Paramashakti, Paramashanti, Paramashraddha, Paramabhakti, Paramajnanam, Paramanandam. These divine qualities are inside you and you are in them. They are all around you. Shakti, Shanti, Shraddha, Bhakti, Gnanam, Anandam. Think of the Panchakoshas, Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya and Anandamaya. The Atman, our real nature, is beyond these five koshas. These are different coverings, upadhis. One by one, we negate the upadhis and experience the presence of the Self, the Supreme Consciousness, the pure consciousness. Let us send positive, peaceful, pure, healthy, divine thoughts to all people. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Om asato ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityorma amrutangamaya. Om shanti shanti shanti. Harihi Om. Panchashanti mantras, please. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Repeat. Gananam Tva Ganapatigam Havamahe Kavim Kavinam Mupamashravastamam Jeshtarajam Brahmana Brahmanaspata Anashrunvannotibhi Anashrunvannotibhi Siddhasadanam. Om Hamsa Hamsaya Vidmahe Paramahamsaya Dhimahi Tanno Hamsa Prachodayat. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shanno Mitra Shamvarunaha. Repeat. Shanno Bhavatvaryama. Shanna Indro Brihaspatihi. Shanno Vishnurukramaha. Namo Brahmane. Namaste Vayo. Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi. Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahma Vadishyami. Ritam Vadishyami. Satyam Vadishyami. तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ तच्छंयोरावृणीमहे गातुं यज्ञाय गातुं यज्ञपतये दैवी स्वस्तिरस्तु नः। स्वस्तिर्मानुषेभ्यः ऊर्ध्वं जिगातु भेषजम् शन्नो अस्तु द्विपदे शञ्चतुष्पदे। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ मधुवातारुतायते मधुक्षरन्ति सिन्धवः माध्वीर्न सन्तोषधीः मधुनक्तमुतोषसी मधुमत्पार्थिवगुम्रजः मधुद्यौरस्तु नः पिता मधुमान्नो वनस्पति मधुमागुम् अस्तु सूर्यः माध्वीर्गावो भवन्तु नः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदम् पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ। Please open ninth mantra. Ishavasyopanishad, ninth mantra. Andham tamah pravishanti ye vidyamupasate. 9, 10, 11 we will chant. Those who don't have the books, see the neighbors' books. Om andham tamah pravishanti ये विद्यामुपासते ततो भूय इव ते तमो यवो विद्यायागुम्रताः अन्धं तमः प्रविशन्ति ये विद्यामुपासते ततो भूय इव ते तमो यवो विद्यायागुम्रताः अन्यदेवाहुर्विद्ययान्यदा अन्यदेवाहुर्विद्ययान्यदा हुरविद्यया हुरविद्यया इति शुश्रुमधीराणाम् येनस्तद्विचचक्षिरे येनस्तद्विचचक्षिरे विद्यां च विद्यां च यस्तद्वेदो भयगुं सः विद्यां च विद्यां च यस्तद्वेदो भयगं सः अविद्यया मृत्युं तीर्त्वा विद्ययामृतमश्नुते अविद्यया मृत्युं तीर्त्वा विद्ययामृतमश्नुते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ To start with, as I said last Sunday, practical Vedanta lectures of Swamiji given in London. The application of all these Mahamantras of the Vedas, of the Upanishads, Swamiji has put it in a free translation lecture. So, 2-3 important points we studied last Sunday. Now we'll continue to 2-3 paragraphs. In that, some important points, then take the main Upanishad. So he says here in page 295 of Practical Vedanta in the complete works, all the powers in the universe are yours, are already ours. It is we who have put our hands before our eyes and cry that it is dark. Know that there is no darkness around us. Take the hands away and there is the light which was from the beginning. Darkness never existed, weakness never existed. We who are fools cry that we are weak. We who are fools cry that we are impure. Thus Vedanta not only insists that the ideal is practical, but that it has been so all the time, and this ideal, this reality is our own nature. Everything else that you say is false, untrue. As soon as you say, I am a little mortal being, you are saying something which is not true. You are giving the lie to yourselves. You are hypnotizing yourselves into something vile and weak and wretched. Therefore, whoever thinks he is weak is wrong. Whosoever thinks he is impure is wrong and is throwing a bad thought into the world. This we must always bear in mind, that in Vedanta there is no attempt at reconciling the present life, the hypnotized life, this false life which we have assumed, with the ideal. But this false life must go. Real life which is always existing must manifest itself, must shine out. Then he says, the veil drops away, that is the Avarana Shakti, and the native purity of the soul begins to manifest itself. Everything is ours already, infinite purity, freedom, love and power. So when we read the 4th, 5th, 6th shlokas of Ishavasya Upanishad, we get this great strength, that we are pure, that we are free, that we have the love and the power, which are already within us. Then he speaks about the kings again. So much time we have, he says, in modern times, we have so much time, but hardly we spend time in this search of knowledge. But look at the Maharajas, look at the Chakravartis. He says they could find time to think out all these thoughts, to realize them and to teach them to humanity. How much more then should be practical for us, whose lives compared with theirs are lives of leisure. Still we complain, no time, no time, no time. That is because our mind is very, very small. Expansion is life, contraction is death. The great say they were great acharyas and great kings. They had Maharishis as their guides, and they broke open all barriers. They plunged into deep sadhana and came out with these powerful thoughts. What more time he have? He never accepts this concept of no time business. You have to make time and then realize the truth as early as possible. That we cannot realize them is a shame on us. seeing that we are comparatively free all the time, having very little to do. My requirements are as nothing compared with those of the ancient absolute monarch. My wants are nothing compared with the demands of Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, commanding a huge army, and yet he could find time in the midst of the din and turmoil of battle to talk the highest philosophy and to carry it into his life. Most of us here have more time than we think. See the positive assertion. Most of us here have more time than we think. If we really want to use it for good, with the amount of freedom we have, we can attain to 200 ideals in this life. If we will, but we must not degrade the ideal to the actual. The actual should be reconciled to the ideal. The present life should be made to coincide with life eternal. For you must always remember that the one central idea of Vedanta is this oneness. There are no two lives, nor even two different kinds of life for the two worlds. You will find the Vedas speaking of heavens and things like that at first. But later on, when they come to the highest ideals of the philosophy, they brush away all these things. There is but one life, one world, one existence. Everything is that one. The difference is in degree and not in kind. The Vedanta entirely denies such ideas as that animals are separate from men and that they were made and created by God to be used for our food. A man may see a great deal of difference between grass and a little tree, but if you mount very high, the grass and the biggest tree will appear much the same. So, from the standpoint of the highest ideal, the lowest animal and the highest man are the same. If you believe there is a God, the animals and the highest creatures must be the same. A God who is partial to his children called men and cruel to his children called brute beasts is worse than a demon. I would rather die 100 times than worship such a God. All such, they say, want to go to sleep. And if you try to drag them up and say, let me sleep, it is so beautiful to sleep in the snow, and they die there in the sleep. So is our nature. That is what we are doing all our life, getting frozen from the feet upwards and yet wanting to sleep. Therefore, you must struggle towards the ideal. And if a man comes who wants to bring that ideal down to your level and teach a religion that does not carry the highest ideal, do not listen to me. Do not listen to him. To me, that is an impracticable religion. But if a man teaches a religion which presents the highest ideal, I am ready for him. If anyone wants to preach that way to us, poor, sense-bound clods of earth, as we have made ourselves by following the teaching, we shall never progress. Man should not be degraded to worldly slavery, but should be raised up to God. These few teachings of Vedanta, practical Vedanta or application of Vedanta, when I was reading, it was so related. Same thing is of the Ishavasya Upanishad. He puts it into English in a free lecture called Practical Vedanta. Please try to have a copy of that single book, Anushtana Vedanta Telugu, Practical Vedanta in English. 4 lectures. Now, 9th mantra you see. 9, 10, 11, as Shankara says and other acharyas say, they should be studied together. But we shall try to study 9 and 11 today because our class time is limited. Then you find how Swamiji's teachings of elevating ourselves to God from the sensory world, from the materialistic world, or he calls it materialistic slavery, that we can avoid and become immortal in the real sense of the term. Nitya Mukta. Okay? Never bound by this samsara, etc. So, 9th. Andham tamah pravishanti ye avidyam upasate tato bhuya evate tamo yav vidyayam rataha. Andham. What is andham? Blindness. or darkness of what? Ignorance of the self. That is blindness, not the ordinary eye blindness. The ignorance of the self you do not know, so you are andha. And this tamas, he calls it deeper darkness, characterized by I and mine, egotism, vanity. Who will enter? We'll come to that. Pravishanti. Who will enter? Avidyam upasate. Mechanically performing the rituals. Without a pure attitude, without a spiritual attitude, you are performing the rituals, which are prescribed by so many pujaris, so many purohits, so many creating this ritual cheste adi, that ritual cheste idi, ee punyam, aa papam, cheyikapothe no narakaniki vedtavu pujari. When some of our swamis went to Gaya Kshetra, pujas, the pandas were behind them and say, we will all go to Naraka. They were laughing. We have already gone to immortality. We are Sri Ramakrishna's children. Narakada Yama will go away if you repeat the name of Sri Ramakrishna. So that is the power here. So, mechanically perform the sacrifices. Tataha bhuyaha iva, into deeper darkness, tamaha, yavu vidyayam rataha, who worship gods and goddesses. See, earlier shlokas you see, and this shloka you see, 9, 10, 11, so different from Vedanta. So different from the Atma Gnanam or self-knowledge. Suddenly he brings in rituals, suddenly he says tamas, the mantra, the rishis, they had a plan, they had an idea of teaching the mankind in the future. So now see, those who mechanically perform sacrifices, they go to darkness. And those who merely worship gods and goddesses, they go to greater darkness, deeper darkness. How is it? How can we reconcile? And what is our position? What is this darkness? Then what happens to the Manda Buddhi, those who have limited? Then they create all sorts of hells and heavens and say, you will go there, you will go there. Papa Purusha, Punya Purusha, and you will be roasted there, you will be toasted there, you will be cut into pieces, you will be fried into oil. That is deeper darkness. All that tamasha will be. Swami says, don't listen to them. Do namaskaram to them and go your way. You are the Atman. You are the Atman. Go back to the 5th and 6th slokas of the Isha Upanishad. So, I'll give you a general, simple meaning of this shloka and then take up other things. So, andham tamah pravishantiye vidyam upasate. That is the beginning verse. What does it say? The seeker has not attained the stage of Brahma Gnanam. He is a seeker, but he is a beginner. He is just on the threshold. He has just entered LKG or maybe even play school. So there are so many things Vedas have prescribed. So many things which the Karma Kanda has prescribed. Putrakameshti Homa, this Homa, that Homa, for heaven, a seat in heaven, and all that rituals, so many created. From there one rebel group came. Enough is enough. Says, I will not go outside. I will not worship the vain gods. Paranchikani vyatrinat swayambhu tasmat parang pashyati na antaratman. Kathopanishad. Yama says to Nachiketa. These senses will take you out in all rituals, and mind doesn't go inside in meditation. Na antaratma. It doesn't accept. Why? Everything outside is so beautiful, so tasty, so enriching, so pleasurable. But there was a great Purusha, Kaschid Dhiraha, some great heroic soul, seeker. He desired immortality. He did not desire worldly pleasures or some punyam, some swargam, brahmalokam, apsaralokam, etc. Amritatvam icchan, he desired immortality. Because he desired something higher, something immortal, the power of the senses, the power to see outside, he closed and turned the tap inward, turned the direction inward. Kaschiddhira pratyagatmanamaikshat. So, avritta chakshuhu. What is my chakshu doing? Seeing how you? Your chakshu is seeing me. And you go outside in the world, you see posters, you see gardens, you see shops, and then you are attracted. You forget where you have gone, where you have come. Avritta, turn inward, a higher meditation. Avritta chakshuhu, why? Amrutattvam icchan. He does not want ordinary sweet and ordinary this one, he wants amrutattvam, immortality. So Upanishad says here, those who cannot attain Brahmagnana or not attain Brahmagnana, for them they go into darkness. What is that darkness? And deeper darkness will come now. This mantra, 9th mantra, read fully. Andam tama pravishanti ye avidyam upasate. Avidyane pujistaru villu. Upasate, it's a kind of sadhana. Then, tato bhuya ivate tamo, tamas, deeper darkness, who will go? Yavu vidyayam rataha, those who are worshipping or meditating on the knowledge, they will go into deeper darkness, it says. Now 2 points are there. Darkness, deeper darkness. Avidya and vidya. Keep the steps in mind. Who will go into darkness? Avidya. Who will go to deeper darkness? Vidya upasana. And what is that vidya? What is avidya? Now comes the idea. The exclusive practice of karma, rituals, for material benefit. This is all Shankaracharya's explanation. For material benefit. No bhakti and no mukti. They want material benefit. Then they are happy. But then samsara chakra will continue. There is no freedom there. That is tamas there. They are happy with the limited benefits. And second one, exclusive practice of upasana, worship. Worship of gods and goddesses is upasana. If you get stuck up with that, then you are in for trouble. You will attain some benefit which comes in the next shloka 10. Again you will come back. How? That first person, those who do avidya upasana, who worship avidya, grope in darkness, that means ignorance. Andham tamaha pravishanti. Darkness, darkness of suffering of this samsara chakra. Why? Why he will suffer so much? He has got superficial knowledge of Vedanta, but lacks deeper and higher self-knowledge. That he is not far-sighted is implied here. Duradrishti ledu. He is just seeing only immediate material benefits. For them he will spend lot of money. So pravishanti, he has faint knowledge of the scriptures and is likely to drown in the world of ignorant people. That is the first meaning. I am giving you a general meaning, then Shankara meaning will come. Then what about the second seeker? Tato bhuya ivate tamo yavu vidyayam rataha. Second seeker is aware. The second seeker knows what is right, what is wrong, but he will not practice it. He knows what is dharma, dharma, he will not implement it. And he goes on committing mistakes. For that Sri Ramakrishna says humorously, you can wake up a man who is really sleeping, but you cannot wake up a man who is pretending to sleep. You see, children especially. So comfortable, morning 6 o'clock, 6:30 also they will sleep. They are pretending to sleep, though they have to go to school. How can you wake him up? So in spiritual life, you see, you are pretending to this one, then nobody can help you. You will go into deeper darkness. By twisting the meaning of the scripture, such people try to prove that they are right in their actions. That is Sri Ramakrishna's this one. Don't pretend to meditate and think of other things. Sri Krishna also mentions you will be called hypocrite in that way. You are enjoying the worldly pleasures, but you are sitting in a temple and imitating that you are meditating. That is deeper darkness. So the second category of seekers has not internalized the scriptures. So it's all only superficial. The acharyas, the commentators of these verses conclude that knowledge of Ishvara cannot be obtained by karma alone, nor by knowledge alone. One who is avidya upasaka, darkness. One who is vidya upasaka, deeper darkness, it says. So by karma alone or knowledge alone, you will not be able to get immortality. This is the 9th shloka meaning. How it is? Little more. The mantra says, if upasana or devotion is offered only to avidya, that is rituals, you are busy with rituals, morning till night, what will happen to you? You will enter into darkness, ignorance. If you do upasana vidya only, sometimes translations make a lot of difference. If you forget the original word of vidya and avidya, so use that word. If you do upasana vidya only, what will happen to you? It is still worse, greater darkness. Shankaracharya condemns karma or avidya, which is done without right spiritual consciousness. Bhava Shuddhi. If there is no spiritual consciousness, purity of consciousness, any amount of upasana, no use. Bhava Shuddhi will come out as Vak Shuddhi. Vak Shuddhi will come out as Kriya Shuddhi. Then with that Vak Kriya Shuddhi, you can do anything, it will have value. Please keep this in mind. Bhava Shuddhi will come out as speech, pure language, pure words. And that Bhava Shuddhi, Kriya, Vak Shuddhi will come out as action, pure action. But here the action itself is only impure, is adulterated or diluted. So Shankara doesn't accept that. Only by karma you will not attain. Only by upasana you will not attain deeper darkness. So last shloka, 11th shloka says, the sadhaka has to combine both. What has it to combine? He has to combine the rituals, he has to combine the meditation. That is what we do in Ramakrishna Mat pujas. Rituals are there, mudras are there, pranayama is there, tantric worship is there, Vaidika worship is there. But in between, if you have observed carefully, the pujari is in meditation. He is combined. That is the greatest contribution of Swami Ramakrishna Ananda to us. Because we have not attained to that highest state of Brahmagnana. Nor are we ritualistic. Nor are we only meditators. We are two in one. Slowly, by doing this upasana, combination of this karma and meditation, you can attain the capacity or Vedantic meditation. That is why mantra diksha is given. Ishta mantra is given, Ishta devata is invoked in your heart, Hridaya Kamala Madhye. And the book that is given to you is called Upasana. That is the word here. It's not Vedanta, it is Upasana. So do the Upasana more and more and quickly go into that higher realms. So since majority of people do not have the capacity of high Vedantic knowledge of Ashtavakra Samhita and Panchadashi and so many Atma Bodha, etc. For them, a combination is appreciated, combination is prescribed. Take both the medicines together. So Shankaracharya condemns karma or avidya, which is done without right spiritual consciousness or vidya. So the sadhaka should combine karma with spiritual consciousness, which can produce or which can bless you with spiritual results, not just material benefits. The darkness mentioned in the mantra signifies that the sadhaka has no connection with has no connection with Brahman, the real goal of everything. The second category of sadhakas are those who wish to dwell exclusively on vidya, consciousness of the deity, after discarding karma. In our case, we are not doing that high ritualistic homas and karma, yagnas, etc. But occasionally we do Jayanti times. Guru Maharaj Jayanti, Mother Jayanti, etc. We do little homa for a few minutes. Then go back to meditation, go to the bhajans, etc. So we are not exclusively doing the pujas only, nor are we exclusively giving up the upasana or doing the upasana. We combine both. So I say the second category of sadhakas who wish to dwell exclusively on vidya, consciousness of deity, after discarding karma such as japa, puja, seva, and remain satisfied with only information of the deity, such people are trapped in greater darkness. They are giving up the upasana of the puja, the japa, dhyana, etc., though they are not prepared to give up. In between, if you just give up, greater darkness only. One of the disciples of President Maharaj, suddenly he or she, I think, referred to some Advaita philosophy and wrote to President, I am following Advaita philosophy, I am initiated by you. Immediately President Maharaj replied after a few days. He said, do the japa, think of Sri Ramakrishna, he will take you beyond Advaita. Have faith in him. Don't do exclusively Advaita dhyana, Advaita upasana. Go through the process. The Lord will take care. His grace. If you do something more, there will be a danger of a fall. So we have to be very careful. Not giving up the japa, not giving up the bhajana, puja, etc. That's why you see in the temples how evening arati, morning arati, mangala arati, some puja at 7:30. Why all these? Because majority are wanting minimum. They are not able to raise their mind. So they want to see something. They want to hear the bell. So minimum is kept. But when we go to outside temples and all, maximum only spending time in rituals, this, that, and list is increasing. So avidya here, ignorance, refers to karma. Refers to karma, rituals. Or even it is called sakama karma. That action which is done with something in you. You want always something. Sakama. Sakama means I want the results. I want the results. I want this. I want that. That is called kama, sakama. What will happen to them? Those who are doing sakama upasana, andam tama pravishanti, they enter into darkness. So, general meaning, one fellow knows, one fellow doesn't know. One who doesn't know if he is doing, we can teach him. One fellow knows, but still he is avoiding the upasana, for him no excuse. The general meaning is there. But when it comes to Shankara's main technical commentary, says avidya refers to karma or even sakama karma. Why sakama karma is done? Material benefit I want. Such people go into darkness. Andham tamah pravishanti. And what is this material benefit? In the Karmakanda portion of the Vedas, it is all Swargaloka, Brahmaloka, Indraloka. That is why so many things were done. They were advised, do this, you will get that. Do this, you will get that. So that Vedanta, Swamiji has mentioned just, you are strong, you are pure, you are this. Forget all heavenly pleasures and heavenly, that very concept is superstition. All divinity will vanish once the merits of their karma gets exhausted. Punya. Punyam kattukuntam antu untam. A punyam is limited only. Once that this one, no interest you will get, your account will be closed. And then you will come back to this loka again and undergo all this suffering. No seeking self-knowledge in heaven at all, so it is mentioned as darkness. Materialists called the Mimamsas. Shankara had a tough time in arguing with Mandana Mishra. He was full of rituals. Only rituals gives you immortality. No place of knowledge in the Mimamsa traditions. But Shankara put the Vedanta tradition and says knowledge is very, very important, and he had the proofs. That's why Mandana Mishra had to accept defeat and became Sureshwaracharya. So now the question of Sakama Upasana. Earlier it is Sakama Karma, first one. Now it is Sakama Upasana. That is the difference there. Greater darkness anar kada, Sakama Upasana. What happens to them? It gives greater sense pleasure. Since the goal is Brahmaloka, not Moksha. English proverb is there. I am in seventh heaven. I am enjoying. I am in seventh heaven. Jumping in the seventh heaven, they say. What is that seventh heaven? Brahmaloka. Where one can enjoy more, live longer. No GST, no income tax, no CBI rates. Enjoy. Because you did so much of Upasana here. With that idea, I will enjoy later life. What is that enjoyment? What you want to do, God only knows. But there is a class of people. That's why this warning is given. It's not condemnation. This is not the goal. This is not the goal. This is not the goal. Therefore, the Upanishad condemns Namke Vaste. Just Muttikai Vesina, just a warning istundi. Andam tamaha pravishanti. From the why it is telling all this? From the standpoint of spirituality. Adhyatmika vikas, Atma vikas, Atmanubhuti. Not material anubhuti. That's not the goal of mankind. Because people are more extroverted. Bahirmukhi, Antarmukhi. So Bahirmukhi people ki they are warning. So Vidyayam rataha tataha bhuyaha ivate tamaha. See the last sentence? Bhuya tamaha, deeper darkness. Deeper darkness, he says. And supporting this, Mundaka Upanishad says, Avidyayam antare vartamanaha swayam dhira panditamanyamanaha jangamyamana pariyanti mudaha andhenaiva niyamana yathandaha. The blind leading the blind, both will fall in darkness. Half knowledge, half this one, only material benefits. Andhenaiva niyamana yathandaha. He himself is in darkness, wanting only material benefit. He will take others also into deeper darkness. So now, 9th shloka says, Sakama karma, Sakama upasana. Material benefit and more material benefit. Who will go into deeper darkness? One who wanting more material benefit. That fellow will be stuck up. Okay? So please keep that in mind. And now we will go into the 10th mantra, saying that Sakama Upasana and Sakama Karma each has got its own benefits, its own rituals, its own benefits, he says. That support will come from them. Now we read the 10th verse. Anyadevahurvidyaya anyadahuravidyaya iti shushrumadhiranam yenastadvichachakshire. Anyadevahu, anyat, different. Who are they? Ahuhu, the scholars say. What do they say? Vidyaya, by worshipping the deities. Anyat, different. Ahuhu, they say. Avidyaya, by performing sacrifices. Na tat vichachakshire, they told us. Who told us? Great sages. Our teachers have told us. Iti shushrumadhiranam, we heard from wise men. Scholars say that the path of avidya and the path of vidya produce different results. Each path is its own benefit. What is that benefit that they get? Anya devahur vidyaya anyadahur avidyaya. In the 9th mantra, just a quick revision. 2 sadhanas, karma sadhana and upasana sadhana. Leading to darkness, greater darkness. Okay? There is a warning. Now in this mantra, 10th mantra, Upanishad says, karma and upasana have got distinct results, separate results. What are those separate results? Vidyaya prapyam phalam anyat ahuhu. The Shankara commentary. Vidyaya prapya phalam anyat. That is, sakama prapya phalam is different. Sakama prapya phalam is different. What is that sakama prapya phalam? Their sadhana is only to get powers, siddhis, ashta siddhis. How many Sri Ramakrishna had? So many siddhis, everything was his only. And he wanted to give the siddhis to Narendra before passing away, future Vivekananda. And look at what Vivekananda asked, what Narendra said. Will it give me that higher realization? That higher anubhuti? No, this is not for that. See, Upanishad Vakyam and Sri Ramakrishna's anubhuti. No, it won't give you. Then what is the use? You can do good to the world. You can help people who are suffering. Off with it. I don't care for it, he said. Swamiji did not care for it. Sri Ramakrishna was very happy. This is what I wanted from you. Sri Ramakrishna was against the siddhis. So Upanishad says, but that benefit people are there. Some kind of benefit comes out of siddhis. The mantras, they invoke all sorts of gods, goddesses. And you use those gods and goddesses as medium. Either to trouble others or to something will be there. So we respect them from a distance. Siddhulu unnai, andike they are in that high position. Let them be. We know our margam, Vedantic meditation. So, vidyaya prapya phalam anyat ahuhu. That is, sakama prapya phalam is different. Lot of siddhis in this life, and in the next life what will he get? A seat in Brahmaloka. Already fixed. That is his benefit. So benefit of sakama karma. What is that sakama karma? Anyat ahuhu vidya. Anyahu ahu avidyaya. First is vidya, here is avidyaya. What is anyat ahu avidyaya? One we get all the prosperity and little higher called Swargaloka. So one will go to Brahmaloka, before that he will attain the siddhis. And the second upasaka will get prosperity and Swargaloka after death. That is the benefits that they get, two people. How did they know that this is different, that is different, this path they will get this? Iti shushrumadhiranam. This we have heard from our gurus, from the Vedic rishis, in the form of Guru Parampara. This is the truth, this is the Yesha Adesha, Yesha Upadesha, Yesha Vedopanishad, Etadanu Shasanam. Taittiriya Upanishad says. This is the truth, this is what we learn from our great sages. So, yenaha tat vichachakshire iti shushrumadhiranam yenastad vichachakshire. One sentence. Who taught us karma sadhana and upasana sadhana. Rituals and meditation. We have learned thus. Though the upasanas are meant for spiritual progress, unfortunately, nobody talks about self-knowledge. ఏ పూజలు చేయాలి, ఏ పారాయణాలు చేయాలి, ఏ కర్మలు చేయాలి, ఇవే మన సంసార తాపత్రయాల్లో మాట. ఇమ్మీడియట్ మెటీరియల్ బెనిఫిట్, శాంతి కలుగుతుంది. People go to Gokarna, people go to this Karna, that Rameshwaram, and go on doing that. So very few people, as Sri Krishna says, it's very few people who really strive for knowledge. Why don't I be like one of them? That is the point here. Next chapter we'll take later. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.